She was looking for help, but was hit by a train near Haven for Hope. What we know this morning.
There's a history there that you can touch and that I remember and others remember.
Before the barbecues and long weekend plans, meet the volunteers making sure every fallen hero is remembered on this Memorial Day.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And thanks for waking up with us. It is 6 a.m. on this Monday.
And again, Memorial Day, we're honoring all of our fallen out there. I know you've been working on some really good stories.
Yeah, went out to Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. A lot of volunteer efforts there. Really great to see people, you know, even during a long weekend, stepping up, taking the time to show, you know, those who made the ultimate sacrifice. They can.
And even though on the roadways it's been peaceful because a lot of people are taking off today.
Yeah.
Yes, observing the holiday, and again we say thank you. Sure. And that's the reason we're able to be here today. So anyway, let's take a look at what we have going on outside. Cloudy skies and humid. Temperatures 79 degrees right now, 78 in New Braunfels, 81 Converse, 73 Bernie, 80 right now in Stinson. Southerly winds at 14 miles per hour at the airport. So we are getting a lot of humidity in here. It's warm. This comes as no surprise to you. This is the way it's been for a better part of 2 weeks now. The Authority radar did show a severe thunderstorm just about an hour ago. That has really fallen apart. In fact, there's hardly anything left of it. Just a few showers around Concan, seen a few showers around Eagle Pass. But things really beginning to quiet down after what was a busy night for some. Not really here in San Antonio. It stayed quiet other than a few storms much earlier this morning on the far west side. So our forecast today, just a 20% chance of rain through noontime. We bring it up to 30% chance as we get into the late afternoon hours and evening hours. And even a better chance, I think, tonight, as we'll be watching some storms working their way in from North Texas. Otherwise, 95, humid, warm today. Just keep an eye to the sky if you're going to be out and about and have a place to go should a storm roll up and move in your direction. All right, let's check it on the roads this morning. Devin, what you got over there?
Well, the weather might be pretty active, but so far the roads have been a little bit slow. But it looks like San Antonio's starting to wake up here on this Monday morning. If you take a look here at some of our maps, you can see we are fully in the green. Only one incident that we're tracking right now. It's over here on the northeast side of town on I-35 northbound. It's around Topper Wine, that exit over there. Now, earlier when our Alex Gomez went over there, he said it looked like somebody hit one of the cone barriers in between the exit and the shoulder lanes, so it might take a little bit while to clean up. So just want to make sure everyone's staying updated on that if you're headed out, especially to the New Braunfels area for any Memorial Day plans. All right. Inbound drive times, if you're making your way into San Antonio, we are still doing good, fully in the green here. 26 minutes if you're coming in from New Braunfels, 25 from Bernie, and 20 from Bulverde. Not to mention we got 19 from Castroville and 24 from Pleasanton. Taking a look outside right now at some of these conditions. Still somewhat of a sleepy Monday morning here, waiting for a lot of drivers to get up and out. Probably aren't going to see much, but thankfully there's not going to be any closure delays over on I-10, 1604, 35. That's because TxDOT says they are stopping for the Memorial Day weekend and will reserve Tuesday morning. Now, out and about for us this morning is our very own Alex Gomez, live in Drive Cam. Alex, good morning.
Devin, good morning and happy Monday. Check out the far northwest side right here, 1604 eastbound, right at I-10. You're right, no construction taking place in this area, so we do have open lanes on both 1604 and I-10. And I had no crashes to report most of the hour I just spent over here on the west side. Everything looks good. I'll let you know if I see any slowdowns across the city, but right now, low traffic volume, Devin.
Hey, that is good to hear while we can have it. Thanks so much for being out there for us, Alex. We're going to keep continuing updating you. All the traffic you need here on GMSA. Send it back to you guys.
This morning, we got a tragic end for a woman hit by a train late last night just west of downtown. San Antonio police say that she was standing at Haven for Hope staying there when she was struck near the tracks on Martin Street. First responders rushed her to the hospital, but she died on the way. Her name hasn't been released just yet, and investigators are still working to figure out exactly what led up to this incident.
And later today, many of you will be heading out to picnic at area rivers and lakes on your days off. A reminder that while drinking alcohol is allowed, being careless could cost you. Listen to this. Last year, Texas game wardens arrested 37 people for boating while intoxicated and 4 others for driving while intoxicated. That is statewide. What about on the roadways? Well, San Antonio police tell us 54 people were arrested for DWI in the city during the 2024 Memorial Day weekend. The fine for getting caught the first time with a BWI or a DWI can be anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. One boater we spoke with says the older he gets, the wiser he gets about when he drinks.
I don't, not on the boat. Now here, we'll have a few beers and stuff, but on the boat, I don't even have 1 or 2 anymore. I used to in the past, but I don't like to drink and boat.
It is not illegal to drink on a boat. It is illegal for the boat operator to be intoxicated. That's one of the items that we're going to be looking for while we're out here, out on the lakes, out on the rivers.
And a few more reminders to those going out to lakes and rivers. Life jackets are required for everyone on board. Kids under 12 years old have to wear that life jacket at all times. And coming up in the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about a little bit more about how to stay safe on the water, especially if you're swimming. Daphne?
Election Day is June 7th in San Antonio, but you can vote before that, as early as tomorrow, in fact. Early voting runs tomorrow through June 3rd. If you're registered to vote here in San Antonio, you can vote in the mayor's race. Don't forget, 4 other city races are also in a runoff. People in districts 1, 6, 8, and 9 will be picking their city council members.
Well, this year, the nonprofit Flags for Fallen Vets put out a distress call to the community saying that they could fall short of placing a flag at every gravestone over at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery because of sponsorships and not enough volunteers. But as our Patty Santos reported, the San Antonio community stepped up. The nonprofit was able to meet their goal thanks to the work of thousands of volunteers who came out to the National Cemetery this weekend, each one placing a flag centered in front of the headstone exactly 1 foot out while saying the veteran's name and thanking them for their service. Gabby Williams has been taking her 2 daughters here every year for multiple events throughout the year, like wreaths across America during the Christmas time, all to show her family the importance of respecting the sacrifice and to honor their late Uncle Ben, her brother, who's buried here.
I love it because I'm showing them that, just to really appreciate the small things we have. We are in an amazing country, so I really want them to know that we're here because of that, because of them and all the sacrifices.
Yesterday morning, volunteers like Gabby and her 2 daughters, Bailey and Gwyneth, were able to cover every gravestone with a flag, with more coming to honor them even further on today. Later on this morning, starting at around 8, the nonprofit Victory for Veterans will be at Fort Sam National Cemetery today, placing flowers on every grave along with those flags, along with the ceremony to honor those who served. And a flower for every grave this year event being put on by Victory Memorial Veterans over at Fort Sam Houston. So like I just said, starting at 8 a.m., volunteers are going to be placing flowers at the grave sites. The project seeks to ensure that no veteran is ever forgotten, symbolized by placing a flower as an expression of gratitude and remembrance. Plus, here's a look at just some of the Memorial Day events happening today. There is a Memorial Day Ruck March led by local San Antonio vets starting at 10 a.m. over at McAllister Park. Harlandale ISD is going to have a flag ceremony that pays tribute to the nearly 100 former Harlandale ISD students who gave their lives in service to our country. They are inviting the community to attend that coming up at 9 a.m. And Travis Manion Foundation volunteers are holding the Honor Project at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery as well, visiting the graves and honoring those who rest there. Jaffney?
Thank you, Devin. San Antonio City Pools opening up early, just in time for the heat. The pools are free to use, and hundreds of people have already taken advantage this weekend for the city's preseason opening. You can bring in food and water, but no other drinks. Children 10 and under must have an adult with them, and for every 2 kids under 9 in your group, you need at least 1 adult. Now here's a look at some of the 6 area pools that are going to be open this Memorial Day. There's one at Delview, Fairchild, Kingsborough, Lady Bird Johnson, Westwood Johnson, and Woodlawn Lake. Today, they will be open 1 to 7 p.m. The city says that they will open the rest of its pools sometime in June, but they have not released an exact date just yet.
And a reminder, since Memorial Day is a federal holiday, many places around San Antonio are closed today. That list includes City Hall and most municipal offices. They will resume regular hours tomorrow. Public safety, emergency services, and animal control will be working today. As for sanitation, like garbage, recycling, and organics collections, those will be normal all week. All right, more morning headlines. One of the stars of the reality show Duck Dynasty has passed away. The family of Phil Robertson says he died on Sunday, months after it was announced that he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Robertson was 79 years old. The reality show aired from 2012 through 2017, following the Robertson family and their duck hunting business in Louisiana.
Memorial Day weekend kicking off the summer movie season and is heating up at the box office. Remake of Lilo and Stitch zoomed past the whopping $183 million. Mission Impossible, you actually went and watched that with your family.
I did.
Pulled off the best opening in the franchise's history with $77 million. But you can't count out Final Destination, Thunderbolts, and Sinners, which is something that me and my parents went to see this past weekend. Again, all packing theaters as well. Justin, have you watched any of those films yet?
Nope. But my kids do really want to see Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
we'll be there
go.
soon. Here's what you want to know for the next couple days. Daily storm chances 30 to 40% over the next 3 to 4 days. We've got some other points that we want to pass along, and we'll share those with you coming up.
San Antonio, get ready to take on GMA. Michael Strahan hitting 105 in the Indy 500 pace car. And we're chatting with the race winner who made history.
And he risked paralysis, then risked it all, quitting his job, selling everything, and setting sail with just his cat. The incredible journey that's capturing a lot of hearts. Up next.
And tariffs on hold, tensions on edge, and President Donald Trump's surprise delays, economic shockwaves. Now the global stakes next. Welcome back, 6:14. Okay, we got a cool story coming your way. A man on an adventure of a lifetime after life threw him an unexpected curveball.
He decided to set sail across the ocean with his cat. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Faced with the risk of paralysis, Oliver Widger didn't just walk away from his job, he charted a new course entirely.
Was diagnosed with something called Klippel-Feil syndrome. I run the risk of going paralyzed.
The 29-year-old from Oregon quit his corporate gig, sold everything he owned, and set sail for Hawaii with his cat, Phoenix. He taught himself to sail on YouTube, liquidated his 401k, moved to the coast, and a month after quitting, bought a 33-foot sailboat.
And then I had this really good idea to liquidate my 401k and then sell my cars.
He left Oregon in late April, posting videos of his crossing on social media. His account, Sailing with Phoenix, swelled to 3 million fans. And Widger thinks he knows why.
I think a lot of people are you're grinding at your job all day long, and you're just, it doesn't really matter how much money you make at this point. Everybody's just trying to do enough to get by, and you can only, that just wears you out.
And while Widger struggled with storms, seasickness, and broken equipment, Phoenix never missed a beat.
Somehow, my cat is doing much better than I am. It's like she doesn't even know what's happening.
His most terrifying moment came when the rudder failed, leaving the boat tilted in the surf for hours. But there were moments of magic, too.
We have seen whales. Big whales. Couldn't tell you what kind, but they were whales.
After 24 days at sea, he arrived in Hawaii this weekend to a hero's welcome.
This is absolutely nuts. Yeah, because I'm totally not this, I don't know, just awkward.
And while he says he's still processing it all, his message to others is simple.
Whatever your dream is, just go, just do it. It is possible. You'll surprise yourself at every single step of the way.
Widger says he may head to French Polynesia next, but for now, he's taking a break on land. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
All right. That was a sweet story.
I'm just glad he made it.
All right. And then having his cat beside him, it reminds me of Wilson from Castaway. That's your only
volleyball,
friend.
yes.
Got to take good care of him.
Yes, it worked out. Very good.
Let's get over to traffic real quick. Devin, how we looking?
Well, looking good. I don't think it's nearly as easy as it's going to be when you're on a boat. Probably not a lot of traffic on the highways out there in the open seas. But so far, here in San Antonio, we're still doing pretty good. Hey, if you're trying to head out early today for Memorial Day, maybe you got plans outside of San Antonio, let's go over some of your outbound drive times. really quick. If you're headed to New Braunfels right now, that could take you about 27 minutes, about 26 minutes if you're going to head out to Bernie. So far, we've got 24 minutes if you're heading to Pleasanton, 27 minutes to Floresville, 26 to Lavernia, and 29 to Seguin. One thing that we do want to keep you updated, though, on, we are still tracking this over here. This is on the northeast side of town, 35 northbound around Topperwine Road. Looks like someone might have hit one of the barriers for the cones in between the exit and the shoulder over there. I know that's affecting the right 2 lanes, and it might take a little while to get cleaned up. So especially if you're headed out to New Braunfels or Austin, want to make sure we're keeping an eye on that for you. All right, taking a look at some of our inbound drive times. If you have family coming into San Antonio, we are fully in the green for that. Taking a look right now at some of the conditions. Sun just starting to peak up, getting a little bit less dark. 1604 and Gold Canyon right over there looking good. No bad road conditions. Doesn't look like there's too much fog in between anyone's way, obscuring their view. Just make sure you get those sunglasses ready coming up and soon. For now, I'll send it over to you, Justin.
Thanks, sir. Yes, that sun will be up here soon. And here's what you need to know for today, kind of the bottom line forecast. You're planning for some daily storm chances, not only today, but really through about Thursday. 30 to 40% chance of rain. Know that not everyone will get rain, so don't send us an email when you don't get any rain in the rain gauge. It's going to be one of those situations where it'll be hit or miss, and really it's going to depend on what happens around us. We will be watching, though, for severe storms, the threat for street flooding, and the main threats will be hail and gusty winds when it comes to that severe threat. As we look at the authority radar this morning, we had some storms out around Uvalde a little bit earlier. Those have since died down. I'm going to switch the radar sites, though, for you real quick. We'll switch it over to the New Braunfels radar, and it's still showing some light showers. It's probably some upper level light rain that'll be shifting east, and probably, I would say probably does not hold together as it moves in our direction, but a few showers perhaps for Sabinal and Uvalde here over the next few hours. And here's the big picture, and as I said, we really have to focus on what's going on up here. You see this right here? That is a boundary, or an outflow boundary, or a front, however you want to look at it. It's a rush of cooler air ahead of these thunderstorms, and that is pushing south. Now, in theory, along that boundary, we could see some storms later today. So it's going to be a matter of when it gets here. And if it does arrive by the late afternoon, then there is a chance there could be some strong to severe thunderstorms along it. Now, this particular model doesn't show much with it. In fact, it shows it kind of washing out, but then we get additional development to our north tonight that tries to push south into San Antonio during the overnight hours, which is also a possibility here. I think the best odds really are going to be tonight, but I just want to keep an eye on the atmosphere this afternoon, because should we see storms, severe weather is a distinct possibility. Gusty winds and hail, as we mentioned. And on a scale of 1 to 5, it is a 2 out of 5 for the Hill Country, including northern Bexar County, and then a 1 out of 5 for the rest of San Antonio. Bottom line, be on the lookout for some storms later today. We'll put it at a 30% chance by the afternoon. 95 is your high temperature. And then as we get into tonight, 40% chance again Tuesday night, Wednesday, 40% chance. So there are plenty of opportunities here. That does not mean it's going to rain every day. Does not mean, again, that everyone's going to get rain, but at least we have the chance, and I think there will be some heavy rain in spots. So hopefully this will help us out some with this drought situation. All right, Just Ask Justin. Today, Memorial Day originated after which war under the name Decoration Day? Was it the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, the Civil War, or World War I? You can vote, KSAT.com/poll, or scan a QR code and weigh in. Right now we got votes for the Revolutionary War, World War I, and Civil War.
621 right now, 79 degrees outside.
All right, more to come, including this from the heart of Texas to the roar of the Indy 500. We're taking you to the races. We'll hear from the first ever Spanish winner coming up.
In this morning's GMA First Look, we're taking you to the Indy 500 as our Michael Strahan sits behind the wheel of the official pace car.
This car is amazing. We are doing 105 miles per hour right now. Do I punch it coming out of this one? Not now. I got one more. I'm ready to punch this thing, but we are moving pretty good.
In a heart-pounding race littered with spinouts and collisions.
Yeah, what on earth? is going on at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway today. We have seen it all.
Spanish driver Alex Palau coming out on top, making history.
He has won the Indianapolis 500.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we're talking to the winner. With your GMA First Look, I'm Allison Cossack, ABC News.
Here we go. 6:25 right now. 79 degrees outside.
A 2-year-old boy is recovering after a shooting in his home. Well, up next, why his brother is now facing charges.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It is Memorial Day. We're getting it started.
Last week of school for my kids, and I know
nice.
different districts are ending at different times, so... Oh, by the way, we've got that too. So.
And it'd be great if we got summer off, right? You know, just a few 3 months every now and then.
Yes.
Well, this weather pattern is about to be a little shaky a little bit.
Well, you know what? For the first time in a long time, we have some decent rain chances over the next several days. And that does include today, but I would tell you, don't cancel your plans, outdoor plans, but be ready. Just be prepared that storm may pop up. Or we may see some heavier storms tonight. And kind of the nature of this pattern is that we see these clusters of storms develop, and they usually work south and southeast, and they can affect us from time to time. And I think overnight periods are where we have our best opportunity to get some of this rain. 79 right now, 79 in New Braunfels. It's a very warm, muggy morning. We've got overcast conditions. This is pretty typical of what we've been seeing last several days. Our forecast today, noontime 86. We'll be up around 20% chance of rain at noontime. And then 95 is our high temperature with the heat indices still up around 100. Please keep that in mind. It'll still feel pretty sticky from time to time. Storm chances, as I said, highest tonight, 40% chance. Tuesday, 30% chance. And then Tuesday night, Wednesday, we'll also put in a 40% chance. Severe weather is possible any one of these days. Gusty winds and hail will be the main threats. We'll take a closer look at the wide view of the radar and show you where the storms are right now. That's coming up in just a couple minutes, but let's talk traffic, and it sounds like we do have an issue out there, Devin.
Yeah, Justin, we are starting to track some of that here this morning. So far, though, overall for some of our drivers, it looks like we are doing green right now. Here's what we are looking at over here. This is on the northeast side of town over on I-35. Northbound, if you're headed up that way, it seems like there might be the first 2 lanes on the right side that still might be closed over there. So just make sure that you keep an eye on that, especially if you're headed out of town today for Memorial Day. If you are looking to get out of San Antonio, let's go ahead and take a look at your outbound drive times really quick. 26 minutes to New Braunfels, 25 minutes to Bernie. We've got 24 to Pleasanton, 25 to Floresville, 27 to Lavernia, 28 to Seguin. We've got 20 to Bulverde, 20 to Castroville, and 17 to Lytle. Taking a look at our inbound drive times for anyone coming into San Antonio, maybe to see any family or friends today. So far, we are fully in the green as far as that goes. All right, taking a look outside at some of these conditions. This one looking all right so far. Sun just starting to peek out over some of these roadways as these cars, trucks make their way through on this Memorial Day Monday. Now our very own Alex Gomez is live out in drive cam. And Alex, I believe you're over at a scene kind of on the northeast side. Is that correct? What's going on there?
Yeah, that's correct, Devin. So right now the highways are still looking good, but I did find this scene on some of the major surface streets. This is at the intersection of Thousand Oaks and Perrin Bottom. I only see one car, so it looks like it was a single car crash. It looks like he may have hopped the curb right here, the median curb in between Thousand Oaks. So just know that Thousand Oaks has 1 lane blocked in both directions, and they did actually put that driver inside this ambulance right now. So he was conscious, he was talking to SAPD, but just know that if you are going to be in this area, we do have a number of units responding to the scene. So you want to slow it down this morning over here, Devin.
All right, thanks for keeping us updated, being the eyes and ears out on the road. We appreciate it, Alex. We'll get to more traffic in a little bit. For now, I'll send it over to you, Ernie.
Artie, thanks, sir. This morning, a 2-year-old boy is recovering in a hospital after accidentally shooting himself with a gun that he found at home. The Bexar County Sheriff says the child got a hold of a loaded pistol left on a dresser at a house on Candleview Court in northeast Bexar County.
It appears that at least one of the persons within the house, most likely an older teenager, took the weapon and then made an attempt to hide it from law enforcement by sticking it between the privacy fence and between this fence and the fence next door.
Deputies say his 17-year-old brother, Deshavion Cool, admitted to leaving the gun out and later tried to hide it in the backyard. He's now facing charges for making a firearm accessible to a child and tampering with evidence. Thankfully, the bullet only grazed the toddler's head, and he is expected to be okay.
All right, time right now, 6:33. As the unofficial start of summer gets underway today, we want to remind you to be safe while you're in nearby any body of water. In total, last year, there were 103 Texas children who drowned. We're talking about pools, lakes, and ponds. Looking closely in Bexar County, that was 5 children, 1 in Guadalupe and 1 in Medina counties. But it is not just children who are in danger. In 2024, an 80-year-old man died at a Calaveras lake, and 4 years ago, a U.S. Army Staff Sergeant died after falling off a boat during a 4th of July holiday. And it starts with wearing a life jacket, even if you know how to swim. Texas game wardens tell us their biggest citations are people not having enough life jackets in the boat and children under 12 not wearing that life jacket.
Got to have your life jackets, the little kill switch, just in case, because you never know what'll happen. You know, you could be laying, you could go off to go get something else. Wave hits you, you go over, and your engine's still going. Well, where's your boat going to go?
And Texas game wardens say a lot of times adults are overconfident about their swimming abilities, so he encourages them to wear a life jacket. For those who have children swimming at lakes, rivers, or pools, make sure that you keep a close watch on the kids at all times. And listen to this. Last Memorial Day weekend, there were 7 drowning responses in Texas lakes alone. One of them was in Canyon Lake, so be careful out there. Jaffney?
Thank you so much, Patty. We want to pass along a friendly reminder that today, Six Flags Fiesta Texas and Chalet Bomb from New Braunfels are both offering those free admission to the military and veterans. Active and retired members of the U.S. Armed Forces would just need to show a valid U.S. military ID to receive that complimentary admission and discounted tickets for family and friends. They must be purchased online in advance. Looking ahead, check this out. We got the iconic Carvana car vending machine will be turning into a patriotic beacon. Today, the vending machine will be lit up red, white, and blue, so you may see it. This morning, President Donald Trump agrees to extend the deadline for 50% tariffs on the European Union.
The decision comes after the president said that he had a constructive phone call with the European Commission president to discuss serious trade negotiations. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with more.
This morning, a shift in President Trump's trade war. President Trump announcing he will delay his proposed 50% tariff on imports from the European Union, one of America's biggest trading partners. The tariffs were set to begin this Sunday, but President Trump announcing on social media he extended the start date until July 9th after speaking with the head of the European Commission.
She just called me, as you know, and she asked for an extension on the June 1st date, and she said she wants to get down to serious negotiation.
Meanwhile, President Trump also criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin after a massive Russian attack on Ukraine. Over the weekend, Russia launched its most intense aerial attacks on Ukraine in more than a year, including hundreds of missiles, killing at least 18 people and injuring more.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all. Something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
On social media last night, Trump saying of Putin, quote, "I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. And maybe that's proving to be right. But if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia." The president also criticized Ukrainian President Zelensky for his comments on the war, saying, quote, "Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop." Zelensky has condemned what he says is the silence of America, calling for new sanctions and additional pressure on Russia to agree to a ceasefire. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
All right, outside with live cam. It is humid this morning. Will that lead to some thunderstorms? We're going to take a look at the futurecast and I'll show you what the computer models are hinting at for later tonight. Coming up.
81 years later, a hero comes home. The powerful Memorial Day return that brought one sister to tears.
6:41, welcome back now. So on this Memorial Day, when we pay tribute to those who died in military service and reflect on the sacrifices, one California veteran has finally returned home.
Yeah, his family is set to lay him to rest today in more than 80 years after his death in the South Pacific. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack.
He served in World War II, and now 81 years later, he's finally home.
To believe he was dead, but then there was a bit that said maybe he's still alive, you know? And so we didn't have the closure, but now we have the closure.
U.S. Army Air Force Lieutenant Thomas Kelly of Livermore, California, known to his family as Toby, deployed to Papua New Guinea back in March 1944. Just days later, his plane was shot down. His first cousin, Sandy, was 3 years old at the time. Growing up, she says it was too painful for the family to talk about Toby's death. But then came Memorial Day 2013 when Sandy's son decided to start a project.
A few hours of internet research that very quickly found information about the final mission. And that started what would become a 12-year journey.
Scott Althaus is a professor at the University of Illinois who researches wartime communications. He'd been working on military casualty data from World War II, which piqued his interest in his own family. Using the information he found, he contacted Project Recover, an organization that helps research and return missing U.S. personnel.
We were fortunate that in spite of the catastrophic nature of the crash, that enough of it was held together to be able to do the recovery.
With the help of the Navy, the organization used advanced robotics to search Hansa Bay in Papua New Guinea, and they found Toby's plane. It was 215 feet underwater. DNA testing later confirmed the remains inside were his. And this past Friday, his body was finally returned home.
He sacrificed so we could be free. And he said, if I can help my country, it's worth it all. I love you, Toby, and so great to welcome you home.
Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Well, back here locally, a flower on every grave. This year's event is being put on by Victory Memorial Veterans over at Fort Sam Houston. So starting at 8 this morning, volunteers will be placing flowers at the grave sites. The project seeks to ensure that no veteran is ever forgotten.
Plus, here's a look at just some events happening today. There's a Memorial Day Ruck March led by local San Antonio vets starting at 10 a.m. at McAllister Park. Harlandale ISD having a flag ceremony that pays tribute to the nearly 100 former Harlandale ISD students who gave their lives in service to our country, and they're inviting the community to attend at 9 a.m. Then Travis Mannion Foundation volunteers are holding the Honor Project at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery.
Well, just in time for the heat, the San Antonio City pools are opening up, at least half a dozen of them. The pools are free to use, and hundreds of people have already taken advantage this weekend for the city's pre-season opening. You can bring in food and water, but no other drinks. Children 10 and under must be accompanied by an adult, and for every 2 kids under 9 in your group, you need at least 1 adult. So these are the 6 area pools open today. There's Delview, Fairchild, Kingsborough, Lady Bird Johnson, Westwood Johnson, and Woodlawn Lake. They're open from 1 o'clock until 7 p.m.
And then a reminder, since Memorial Day is a federal holiday, many places around San Antonio will be closed. And that list includes City Hall and most municipal offices. They'll resume regular hours tomorrow. Let's get out to Devin now. See how we're looking on the roadways. Hopefully not many people are out and about because they're taking the day off.
Well, not nearly as many as usual. Doing pretty good for a Monday, but we do have a couple things I want to make sure I keep you guys updated about. Taking a look at our map here right now, San Antonio is fully in the green, but I want to bring your attention over here to the northeast side of town. If you're on the highway, maybe headed up to New Braunfels, Austin area, 35 northbound, it looks like the first 2 right lanes, the shoulder and that first right lane, are closed, being worked on. It appears that there may have been some kind of accident there earlier on in the morning. Alex Gomez was keeping an eye on that for us as well. And then if you're headed over here, some of the main roads as well, over here at Perrin Beidel at Thousand Oaks Drive at that crossing. Both lanes, either way, heading that way, we appear to have a crash that is over there. That has caused a little bit of concern for some of our drivers over there, but things should be okay soon. They're in the process of cleaning that up right now and getting the driver some medical attention. All right, if you are wanting to go out of San Antonio for any of your Memorial Day plans, I want to bring you some of our outbound drive times. A little bit different than the inbound I usually talk about. We've got 26 minutes if you're headed up to New Braunfels, 24 minutes if you're headed up to Bernie, and some of the rest ones are all over there in the green. Now, if you are headed into San Antonio, well, you're in luck too, because once again, we are in the green again. Taking a look outside now at some of our conditions out there. Sun is starting to peak up, seeing a little bit of some of those weather patterns that Justin was talking about earlier this morning. There's 37 over there at the Alamo Dome. Keeping a live look at some of that. Now we have our very own Alex Gomez, who has been our eyes and ears out on the roadways this morning. Alex, what's going on? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, good morning, Devin. Right now, not so much happening over here on the east side. This is 35 southbound near Bamsey, and I just left that area where the last incident took place. Thousand Oaks and Parambato, just know that that area was in the clearing stages, but if you're going to be there soon, Thousand Oaks may still have one lane blocked in both directions, right next to Parambato, Devin.
All right, well, thank you for keeping an eye on that, Alex. We appreciate it. Good news for some of our drivers out there. Now for the conditions, let's head out to Justin.
Thank you, sir. We'll start with the authority radar. We had some showers and storms earlier west of San Antonio. Those have since died down. So we had a storm that approached San Antonio much earlier this morning, fell apart, and then an additional severe thunderstorm that came just south of Del Rio. And that is what's left of that is here, and it really has fallen apart too. However, I do want to show you very quickly. I'll put on the lightning strikes. We have had one or two lightning strikes show up with this light rain, so just know you still could hear a few rumbles of thunder. And again, this is the leftovers, and so we'll probably see some high clouds from this on top of the morning low clouds that we're seeing right now. And I suspect that we'll see a pretty quiet start to the day. But what we're going to have to watch this afternoon is what happens to our north, and this will be important. We have some storms up there right now. They're putting down some outflow boundaries that'll seep south, and those may generate some storms. Additionally, we may see more storms develop around San Angelo later tonight and work their way south. And this is the nature of the atmosphere, and the setup is that we're going to get these clusters of storms from time to time. The question, and I think the big question all along, is going to be when. Typically, we see these most often during the nighttime hours. So I would say tonight is when we have our best opportunity for rain. With all that being said, if you have afternoon plans today, please do keep an eye to the sky, as there is still a chance we could see some storms this afternoon. And if we do, the threat is there for strong to severe storms. So the rain chances today, 20% chance through 1 o'clock. We'll bump it up to a 30% chance to account for any afternoon thunderstorms, and then we bring it up to a 40% chance tonight as some of those clusters of storms may try to make a run at San Antonio. Either way, the severe risk is there. On a scale of 1 to 5, a 2 for the Hill Country, northern Bexar County, and then a 1 for the rest of San Antonio. Hail and gusty winds are going to be your main threats, as they often are. We may also see some street flooding with some of this heavier rain, which, you know what, we'll deal with, because we need that rain. We want to fill up those rain gauges. High temperatures today, 95 here in San Antonio. And this temperature is going to be really dependent on the amount of cloud cover, and if we see any storms, that will obviously cool us down. But right now we're shooting for 95. It'll feel warmer than that because it'll be humid all day long. High temperatures out west will be in the triple digits. In the forecast heat index, even with a high of 95, it'll still feel like 101 here in San Antonio. There's just that much humidity in the atmosphere. All right, putting it all together, 40% chance tonight, 30% chance tomorrow, 40% chance Tuesday night again. And then Wednesday, I think maybe one of our better days when we're talking scattered showers and storms. So we'll put a 40% chance there. And then after that, rain chances start to taper as we head into the weekend. We will get some cooler weather, it appears. Hopefully, maybe some upper 80s by Friday and Saturday. All right. Just ask Justin this morning. Memorial Day originated after which war under the name Decoration Day? Was it the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, the Civil War, or World War I? They've all gotten votes, but Civil War leading the way here.
See, I was going to go with Revolutionary War.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any facts of why I was going to do that, but
yep,
it sounded like decoration.
Sure.
And with apologies to all of our military friends out there, I don't know, but I feel like it doesn't go back as far
Right.
So I'll go with the most recent of the conflicts. It was World War I.
Okay, all good guesses. It's actually, and I didn't know this either, the Civil War.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So after the Civil War, the first observance of Memorial Day occurred on May 30th, 1868, known originally as Decoration Day. It was proclaimed to honor the Union soldiers who had fought and died during the Civil War. But as the years went on, more states adopted observing Memorial Day, and then it became a day in which we observe all those who have fought in wars and paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Thank you, Justin.
Learn something new every day.
All right, guys, 6:51 right now, 79 degrees outside.
And look at these roads on Memorial Day. Just one or two little incidents that Alex and Devin have been tracking here for us this morning. So we'll check in with them one more time when we come back.
All right, checking out some of our cameras here in San Antonio. So far, we are doing pretty great out here. Checking out San Antonio, things are going well on the roadways. A lot less traffic so far for anybody headed in. We are doing good on our outbound and inbound drive times if you're looking to go out of San Antonio or into San Antonio today for your Memorial Day weekend.
All right, well, let's look at the forecast. We'll be up around 95 degrees today. Watch for some showers and storms. Keep an eye to the sky, and know that we'll get some storms later tonight, probably again Tuesday night, maybe on Wednesday. It's not going to be raining all the time every day, but I do think we're moving into more of an active pattern, and we could see some severe weather any one of those days. Hail and gusty winds, and that includes today. So we'll keep you posted if anything pops up, and hopefully we'll get some help with the drought.
Yes. Yeah. And another program reminder, we will not have GMSA at 9 today. It will be one of our awesome specials that we aired with Steve Spreeser. So be sure, check it out. It's going to be airing all day today.
All right. We'll see you later.